At the present time, we're calling Ellis County Sheriff to confirm this. Caller says pea to marble-sized hail has been reported in the Cedar Hills. So, Dan, again, some new information, a tornado warning for Ellis County now until 5:45.
Yeah, you can see what appears to be a pretty well-defined hook echo here on Doppler radar. Here's Maypearl down to the south. Here is Venus up to the north and west. The area I would be most concerned about would be from Waxahachie on back to the southwest, including Maypearl, and then extending east to I-35. That includes FM 66 as well. Heads up, there very well could be a tornado on the ground here. A tornado warning remains in effect. You need to take cover immediately. What you're seeing a little farther to the north of this circulation here is very large hail. At least golf ball size, perhaps even a little bit larger than that, maybe up to baseball size. This cell continues to move off to the east at about 20 to 30 miles per hour, probably more at an east-southeasterly clip, Ron, now that I see it there, as it continues to move through at least the northern half of Ellis County. Once again, a little farther to the north, we are still keeping a close eye on this cell up here in southern Dallas County. It appears to be, at least according to radar, kind of merging. The inflow into these storms is being intercepted by this southern storm. So I would say, at least for the time being, that the greatest concern posed would be with this southern storm here, the one that's really got winds out of the south and southeast feeding moisture directly into it. It doesn't have any interference going on at all. And it certainly looks on radar to be a very, very dangerous storm. Even if it's not producing a tornado, it's no doubt producing some very large hail and wind gusts of 60, 70 miles per hour, maybe even higher than that.
Dan, we have had reports of a wall cloud being reported around Maypearl now, which you have on the radar there. And we also had reports from our storm spotters out in the field. This information that has just come down to us. Circulation on the north side of Waxahachie. Rain coming down at 1 inch plus per hour. Inflow going in towards Waxahachie. So you folks in Waxahachie should be taking shelter immediately if you haven't already taken shelter. You folks in Palmer as well as Ferris should be taking shelter as this storm system is presently moving in your direction at about 30 to 40 miles per hour. Dan, we've been talking a lot about southwestern Dallas County. It appears at the present time that perhaps it has now moved through the Cedar Hill area, or pretty close to it.
Yeah, Cedar Hill now is on the backside of this storm, Ron. If you're listening to us back in Tarrant County and Johnson County, at least at the present time, your danger threat is over from these two particular storms. We're also keeping a close eye on a couple of other storms. One cell a little farther to the south, just west of Hillsboro, is capable of producing maybe some large hail and some damaging wind gusts. And another cell a little farther to the north, a couple clusters of them here, just south of Sherman, down towards the Van Alstyne area, into the Blue Ridge area, capable of becoming severe as well, although no severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. But this cell, once again, a little farther to the south in Ellis County, is the strongest one by far at the present time. Heads up here in Maypearl, and also as you're heading on the south side of Waxahachie, there very well could be a tornado on the ground here. And I'm going to go ahead and highlight again a couple of roads here. Here's Farm to Market 66. Here's I-35. Anywhere from Maypearl east towards I-35, northbound towards Waxahachie. You want to be hunkered down right now and certainly taking cover. Large hail, damaging winds, and the potential of a tornado developing as we speak.
All right, Dan, some new information we have now received. There's a possible funnel coming out of a wall cloud, a small rope, which would be a funnel coming out of a wall cloud perhaps, ducking in and out. 1 inch hail in the area. That would be between Maypearl and Waxahachie. Still has some pretty good rotation. Here's a couple of new warnings, Dan, that have just come out. Tornado warning continues until 5:45 this afternoon for Ellis County. Trained weather spotters reported a tornado just west of Maypearl. Radar also shows strong circulation near Maypearl, moving east at 25 miles per hour. Tornado will be about 8 miles south of Waxahachie by 5:15. That's about another 9 minutes. Bardwell and 8 miles south of Garrett about 5:35. And the tornado should be near south of Ennis by about 5:40. And the new warning, Dan, that has just come across, also severe thunderstorm warning, actually is in effect for southeastern Dallas County. until 5:30 this afternoon. Severe thunderstorms are expected to be near Lancaster, moving east at 25 miles per hour. And as you said, it will be near Hutchins around 5:10, Wilmer about 5:15, Combine and 7 miles south of Seagoville by about 5:30.
Again, just to recap, tornado warning in effect here for Ellis County. The danger area here once again from Waxahachie back to the southwest to Maypearl, continuing eastward right across I-35. This area that I'm highlighting right here could be impacted by this tornado. We've had reports of rotation. We've had reports, Ron, of a funnel cloud being spotted. And, of course, up here to the north in these pink and dark red colors, some very large hail coming down. This cell continues to move to the east or in more of an east-southeasterly direction now at around 20 to 25 miles per hour. Take cover immediately. And one more time up here in southern Dallas County. This one is doesn't look like at the present time it's capable of producing a tornado, but we're certainly seeing some large hail here around the Lancaster area, and so a severe thunderstorm warning, not a tornado warning, but a severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for southern Dallas County and for southeastern Dallas County for at least the next half an hour to 40 minutes. Ron? Okay, Dan, I think we now want to go to Clarice in the studio. Clarice, some new information before you take it here. We just received some reports of nickel-sized hail now coming down in Waxahachie. Clarice?
All right, Dan and Ron, thank you very much for that. You'll continue to give us the latest information. We're going to tell you now, again, that Tarrant County and Johnson County have been reported clear of these two storms. But earlier, take a look at this video because Tarrant County had simply been pounded by rain, heavy rain, as you can see, and the hail. You're looking at video of the hailstorm as it passed through Fort Worth earlier. Brandon Todd joins us now live with the situation in Tarrant County. Brandon.
Well, Clarice, what's interesting is to see what it looks like now here in South Fort Worth. It's by all accounts here in this area of campus and I-20, a beautiful North Texas sunny day. Not the case, though, in the last hour as those storms ripped through Tarrant County. I'm going to show you, start with some South Fort Worth video, McCart and I-20. We can show you that video there. Fox 4 photojournalist Larry Villapondo captured this pea-sized hail falling there in that area. Several folks immediately began taking cover in and around that area. Several motorists, of course, wishing no doubt that they were under some sort of cover as well as hail bounced off of their vehicles. Next piece of video to show you from around I-35 in South Fort Worth around the Miller Brewing plant. You can see plenty of rotation in the clouds there and no actual funnel cloud spotted, but rotation nonetheless. And take a listen to this. That was around downtown Fort Worth. Those storm sirens were blaring. Sirens also went off in Arlington, Cedar Hill, and Mansfield. Back out live here, we talked to several people along the way on our way through Fort Worth as those storms were running through. Several accidents on I-30. We saw one off to the side of the road, no doubt because of slippery roads. We talked to one gentleman that said he was driving along I-30. It started hailing and he immediately pulled over, and he was one of several motorists who took cover under some of the overpasses. Certainly they and many others just simply not taking any chances. That's the latest in Fort Worth. Brandon Todd, Fox 4 News.
Brandon, thank you. Very difficult driving conditions for certain people in this area. Let's go to traffic reporter Chip Wagner with the latest on what's happening on the roads and people right now in Waxahachie area. Earlier in Cedar Hill having a very hard time, Chip.
Most definitely, and as Brandon was mentioning, a lot of problems in Tarrant County left from the storms that blew through there, including on I-30 at Montgomery in the eastbound direction. The left two lanes are closed by a wreck there, and then on southbound I-35, the South Freeway at the I-20 interchange, there's a wreck right in the center of the highway that's causing a backup beyond Rippey, so watch for about a 10 to 15 minute delay coming out of downtown Fort Worth. On northbound East Loop 820, just on the west side of Lake Arlington, there's a collision. One lane of traffic blocked in that area. In Arlington, a number of wrecks along I-20, including in the eastbound direction, both at the intersection of Park Springs and Matlock. And at Matlock on the westbound side, there's a wreck on the left side of the roadway. The backup there beyond 360. You also have problems along Mountain Creek Parkway. We've been mentioning the problems along Cedar Hill due to the flooding, street flooding in the area with the heavy rains. Please be prepared for lengthy delays there as well. I'm Chip Wagner, Fox 4 News.
Chip, thank you. We are working hard to keep you safe, to keep your family safe as well. Stay with Fox 4. We are under a tornado watch until 9 o'clock tonight. Right now, let's get you back to Ron and Dan in the Weather Center.
All right, let's recap for folks that may be just joining us at the present time. That red shaded area that you see there is a tornado watch, which covers just about all of North Texas until 9 o'clock tonight. We've also got a tornado warning in effect for Ellis County, a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for southern Dallas County, and we've got a couple of other storms that could go severe at any moment. I want to go ahead first off, though, Ron, and zoom into the by far the most dangerous storm. These reports received to us within the last 5 minutes. Rotation over Tyler Drive in North Waxahachie. Also quarter-sized hail covering the ground in South Waxahachie, and that's the area you see right here. This is large hail falling in Waxahachie and on the south side of Waxahachie, and what we're concerned about is this portion of the storm right down here. If there is a tornado on the ground, or if there is a tornado that's going to form, it is probably going to be in this vicinity, at least in the next, let's say, 5 to 10 minutes. So it's now east of Maypearl, but just on the north side of Italy. Here's a I-35 right here, and heading off to the east in the direction of Ennis. This storm is moving east-southeasterly at around 20 to 25 miles per hour. Tornado warning in effect. This storm has strong rotation in it, and there very well could be a tornado on the ground. We've also got the storm a little farther to the north now that had prompted tornado warnings earlier in southwestern Dallas County and Tarrant County. Now just some large hail, it appears to be, falling in between Lancaster and over towards the Ferris area east of Red Oak. And we've also got some more storms down to the south here around the Hillsboro area, which bear watching as well, anywhere from Itasca down toward or just west of Hillsboro. These are non-severe at the present time, but they could strengthen significantly here in the next 20 minutes. You're looking at video right now of an area that you know very well, Ron, and that's Cedar Hill.
Yeah, Dan, a lot of hail. This was shot just a short time ago as the storm continues to march its way towards the east. Looks like marble to nickel-sized hail, maybe even some quarter-sized hail in there, Dan. Obviously capable of doing a lot of damage. A super target there, I believe, is located Highway 67 and close to the 1382. Dan, I want to go over the warnings that are still in effect, and this is what we presently have. A tornado warning remains in effect for Ellis County until 5:45 this afternoon. Looking at the radar, Dan, of Ellis County and the Waxahachie region, you folks in Ennis need to be taking shelter right now. If you're not taking shelter, you need to do it very quickly because the storm is heading right towards you, and they're moving very quick at about 30 to 40 miles per hour. So, Dan, a tornado warning is still in effect for Ellis County until 5:45 this afternoon. Severe thunderstorm warnings are in effect for southeastern Dallas County until 5:30. Severe thunderstorm warning for Hill County, Dan, as you looked at that storm a few minutes ago, until 6 o'clock this afternoon. Severe thunderstorm warning for Bosque County until 5:45. And, Dan, we don't want to forget the flash flood warning. And as we've pointed out many times before, flash flooding kills more people every year than tornadoes, lightning, and even hurricanes. So be careful of that. Flash flood warning in effect for Tarrant as well as Johnson counties until 7 p.m. this evening.
You're taking a live look right now from Sky 4, flying over Ellis County. A severe thunderstorm there that is capable of producing a tornado at any moment. There very well could be a tornado on the ground. That's why that tornado warning continues for that particular part of North Texas. Large hail falling at the present time in Waxahachie, and at least from the perspective here, it's very hard to make out what's going on. The visibility is very low. But recapping very quickly here, here is the area we're most concerned about right now, stretching from just east of Maypearl, just south of Waxahachie, I-35, over towards 287, into the Ennis area, down towards Highway 34. Heads up, tornado warning in effect, and you may be under the gun as we speak right now. We're going to take a short break here. We'll be back, though, with coverage of this severe weather moving through North Texas.
By Jeep.
As you look at our forewarned radar again, we want to remind you Ellis County is under tornado warning until 5:45. If you are in or near Ennis, take shelter immediately. Reports of pea, nickel, quarter, and marble-sized hail, very heavy rain, and a tornado watch for our part of North Texas until 9 o'clock tonight. Stay with Fox 4. We will continue to keep you forewarned.
In the town of Maypearl itself, the touchdown was west of town.
Okay, and then it went back up, no longer on the ground at this point, correct?
Yes.
Okay, but we are still seeing rotating wall clouds and at least 2 areas of very clear rotation on our storm track radar. Right now we're updating the live imagery, and one of the areas of circulation here is about midway between Waxahachie and Ennis. There is a bit of a hook showing here, although again we're looking through a lot of rain, so we don't have a real clear shot of it. The other one a little farther to the east, coming in over the Ennis vicinity right at the present time, and so those of you in Ennis should take cover immediately. This is a much broader scale circulation feature, but you can definitely see the rotation to it, big mesocyclone there, a supercell that is moving right across I-45 between Palmer and Ennis right now. Undoubtedly a lot of hail and heavy rain. You heard Tim attest to that hail just a few moments ago, and that is moving in across Ennis at the present time. We have seen signs of rotation there, as well as just a little further to the west between Ennis and Waxahachie. So both of these locations bear significant scrutiny. Tim is off to the south. That's where a storm tracker needs to be, where you can look up from the south or the southeast into a storm and see it clearly. You certainly don't want to be out in front of the storm and having it come towards you. That's not the place you want to be, and you don't want to be right in the middle of the storm from the north looking down across all that rain. So Tim is in an ideal location to see any tornadoes that might develop. At this time, a tornado warning still in effect for Ellis County. That does run until 6 o'clock, and we've got a real concern there as these dangerous storms move through that direction. Now, I want to move off just a little bit to the north, though, and show you up through Ferris. Here's this other area of rotation that we had tracked earlier down across the Cedar Hill area, and it's
just pretty much moved through Waxahachie now, but the tail or the hook still exists on it. So that's down around 5 Points and Nelson and Howard, and moving over toward Bardwell and Ensign, and eventually on over toward Garrett and Ennis. So the tornado warning continues in Ellis County till 5:45 for that storm. Keep cover if you're in that area. Now, a broader view of the radar to show you what else is going on. That is pretty much it. Activity is moving off toward the east. The dry line will be coming on along. I don't expect any further severe development. We will be watching for the counties east of us, though, as this does move away. Now then, what's going on with the satellite animation for today? We had the showers early today. Then this afternoon, as this dry line approached, the big thunderstorms developed just in a cluster just near the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Looking for any storm-related damage, and we'll bring it to you if we find it. This is Scott Wallace reporting live from Sky 4.
The amount of hail that looks like it's snow, that tells you just how powerful this storm's been. Let's get you back to Dan Henry and Ron Jackson.
Thank you, Clarice. First, let's run down the watches and warnings. This is a tornado watch. It's in effect for much of North Texas, shaded in red here. That goes all the way until 9 o'clock tonight. Up here to the north, Grayson County under a severe thunderstorm warning. Dallas County still remains under a severe thunderstorm warning. Down in Hill County under a severe thunderstorm warning. And Ellis County continues to be under a tornado warning. That's where we're going to go first on Doppler radar. There you can see the cells. Let's go ahead first off and zoom into this one here. And we've been listening to accounts here by storm spotters down in Ellis County of what we call inflow winds screaming into this storm from the southeast at 40 to 50 miles an hour. And that's an indication of moisture feeding into this very intense thunderstorm. Now, the tornado warning still remains in effect, as we said, and it's a little hard to discern if there is a tornado, obviously just looking at Doppler radar, but you need to assume really at the present time that anywhere from, well, Ennis just down to the southwest and just north of Italy right now and over towards the east around Rice and into the Chatfield area, this is going to be, I would say, the greatest threat area, at least for the next 5, 10, 15 minutes to see a potential tornado. What we're seeing a little farther up to the north here is some hail. It doesn't appear to be quite as large as it was earlier around the Waxahachie area, and according to the Sky 4 reports that we just showed you moments ago. But nevertheless, if you're in that area that I just highlighted, you want to take cover immediately. Assume that there very well could be a tornado on the ground or one about to form. There's the cell down around Hill County, not looking too impressive at the present time. It too continues to move off in an east-southeasterly direction, almost appears to be breaking up a bit there or splitting. and another cell a little farther to the north with hail just north now, or northeast of Van Alstyne is where we're seeing some of the large hail here. Grayson County under that severe thunderstorm warning now for until 6 o'clock this evening. But the strongest storm, the most intense one, still continues to be this one down here in Ellis County. Ron?
All right, Dan, here's some new information we've just received. Near Red Oak High School, there's a possible wall cloud that is lowering. Of course, we'll keep our eyes on that. 2-inch per hour rain coming down 2 miles south of Ferris with 40 to 50 mile per hour winds being reported. And just north of Waxahachie area, we've had reports of 40 to 50 mile per hour winds around 77 to 664. Scott Wallace, can you still hear us in the chopper?
Yes, go ahead, Ron.
Scott, we've had some reports. I had some reports earlier this evening of possible damage in southeastern Tarrant County. Now, obviously, the information that you showed us earlier was in Ferris, which is in northeastern Johnson County. But have you seen anything in southeastern Tarrant County at all? I'm not sure if it was bogus. I'm not sure if it's tornadic or possibly hail. Looks like a lot of hail out there this evening.
Yeah, there is. Right now, Ron, we're flying over the town of Venus, the state prison down here, this area. There's a lot of hail on the ground here. It's collected in the bar ditches. It's in the pastures. No reports of any damage. We were following the storm's track. We went around south of the storm. Now we're coming back from the west, headed towards Midlothian area, searching for any damage. But so far, we haven't seen it. We have seen a lot of hail on the ground, but no reports of any injuries. We've seen some ambulances and fire trucks driving around, but have not seen them treat anybody. Haven't seen any damage to any roofs at this time, but we're on the lookout here in Sky 4. Ron?
Okay, Scott, thank you. Dan, looking at that, looks like possibly some hail streaks. Looks like hail covering the ground in parts of Johnson County. And that seems to be the biggest thing, Dan, has been the hail so far, even though we have had reports of a lot of wall clouds, funnels, and some tornadoes on the ground.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and zoom into this cell once again here in Ellis County. I'm going to go read to you the latest information just put out by the National Weather Service. Tornado warning continues until 5:45 for Ellis County. At 5:23 p.m., a severe thunderstorm with a history of producing tornadoes was located 8 miles west of Bardwell, or 9 miles south of Waxahachie. And here's a little closer look right now at that storm. It's going to be near Bardwell or 8 miles south of Garrett by 5:35, which is in about 7 minutes from now. 7 miles south of Ennis by 5:40, and 6 miles southwest of Alma by 5:45. There's also a second severe thunderstorm located a little farther to the south of Ferris. And this one has produced quarter-sized hail in the Ferris area, as you alluded to, Ron, at 5:22 this afternoon. But here are the two cells right now. This is the one that's a little weaker up to the north, centered around the Ferris area. This is the stronger one, located farther south in Ellis County, and it continues to move off to the east, southeast, at around 20 to 25 miles per hour. Once again, tornado warning continues for Ellis County for at least the next half an hour, it looks like, until 6 o'clock this afternoon.
Okay, Dan, you folks down in Corsicana, as well as the eastern portions of Navarro County, keep your eyes on this, as well as eastern Ellis County. It will soon, looks like it's going to be heading into western Henderson County. So you folks in around Gun Barrel City, as well as southern Kaufman County, Dan, definitely need to be on the lookout. And of course, we'll have further updates as the situation warrants. Clarice?
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. Excellent job. And again, stay with Fox 4. We're going to continue to keep you and your family safe with very severe weather systems, more than one, moving through our area. Again, tornado watch in effect for our part of the North Texas area until 9 o'clock tonight. Tornado warning for Ellis County. 5:45 could extend just a bit from that. We've seen snow on the ground. We've seen hail on the ground, rather, that looks like it's been snowing. Then we saw that hail from Sky 4 in Venus in Johnson County. Reports of pea-sized, nickel, quarter, and marble-sized hail. Very heavy rain throughout the area. A very dangerous weather system. We will get damage reports and show you what's been going on. Stay with Fox 4 News. We're going to keep you forewarned.
4 News. Steve Eager. Chief Meteorologist Dan Henry. Only on the news station, Fox 4.
Good evening. Severe weather is in place, and so Fox 4 News at 5:30 works a little differently. I'm joining Clarice out here for the news, and We're going to get back to the weather, guys.
Absolutely. For more than the last hour, we've been telling you and showing you the severe weather that's been moving through our area. Extremely heavy rain, a range of hail reported, and very serious situations. Let's get you to Dan Henry and Ron Jackson for the latest information on this severe weather.
Clarice, Steve, tornado watch continues for North Texas until 9 o'clock this evening. That's highlighted in red there. We've also got several warnings in effect up here to the north in Grayson County, a severe thunderstorm warning. Severe thunderstorm warnings in effect here in Dallas County. Newly issued severe thunderstorm warning for Kaufman County. Hill County, you are still under a severe thunderstorm warning. And Ellis County, you are still under a tornado warning. That's where we'll start once again with that most intense thunderstorm that's had a history of producing large hail, some damaging winds, and potentially some tornadoes as well. Large hail right here just southwest of Ennis. And I'm going to go ahead and I'll fill in a couple of street names here for you, Ron, while you talk a little bit more in detail about this cell.
Okay, Dan, very intense, obviously. You folks at Ennis should be taking shelter immediately. Very intense cells, Dan, obviously, especially around Ennis. You folks need to be taking shelter immediately if you haven't already. Near Peeltown, as well as Rice and Chatfield, you should also be taking shelter. Dan, the good news severe thunderstorm warning for Dallas County expired at 5:30, so Dallas County is not under any type of warning right now. Bosque County, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning until 5:45. And we don't want to forget, Dan, the flash flood warning that's in effect for Tarrant as well as Johnson counties still until 7 p.m. this evening.
Yeah, the tornado warning once again continuing here for Ellis County. We have had indications on Doppler radar of some very strong rotation. Also, several storm spotters reporting a rotating wall cloud. There have been at least some unconfirmed reports of some tornado touchdowns with this cell as it continues to move off to an east-southeast or almost more of a southeasterly direction. A large hail falling right now around State Highway 34, just to the south and southwest of Ennis. The highest or greatest threat area for a tornado to form would be in this general vicinity right here. If we can go right back to the radar here, just want to show folks at home that this is the area highlighted here or circled that I would be most concerned about for a tornado to potentially develop in the next several minutes. Again, large hail up here denoted in the pink and also the red colors. So heads up just south of Ennis, just north of the Barry area, over east towards Corsicana and I-45 as this cell continues to move in your direction. Now back to Sky 4. Here's the view, and you can see what appears to be almost some ground fog. And I bet what's going on here, Ron, is that we've had quite a bit of hail fall on the ground here, and that hail is basically evaporating and producing that fog that you're seeing there. I've had several reports of hail up to golf ball sized hail covering the ground, and no doubt as we get a closer look, that does look like hail covering the ground there in Ellis County.
Obviously, Dan, some radiation fog that you're getting here because the ground is so warm that all of a sudden it's being shocked, so to speak, by this very cold ice that's coming down. And look at that. You can see how intense some of the hail was in the Ellis County region by itself. Dan, it looks like, looking at the radar at the present time, that you folks in Waxahachie are probably out of this at the present time. It looks like it is now east of you, and it's possible that Corsicana may dodge a bullet here, Dan. There's a possibility that this storm could go north of Corsicana. Not to say that it will, but all indications are that it might. Dan, here's a new tornado warning that has just come across. You folks listening and watching us in Navarro County. Navarro County now, Dan, under a tornado warning until 6:15 this afternoon. Radar detects a developing tornado 11 miles north of Barry, or about 6 miles south of Ennis, moving east at 50 miles per hour. This storm has a history of producing tornadoes and golf ball size hail in Ellis County. The tornado, Dan, is expected to be near 9 miles north of Corsicana by 5:45 and near Cairns by 6 p.m. Some information we've just received from the spotters out in the field. 287 and Highway 34, marble-sized hail being reported around Ennis. So again, Dan, a new warning that has just come across Navarro County under a tornado warning now until 6:15.
I've kind of highlighted the area here, Ron. Here's the State Highway 34 just getting pelted by large hail, and you had the report there around Highway 287 just on the south side of Ennis. Large hail falling. What we're concerned about once again is this area just on the southwestern flank and south side of this storm, watching for a potential tornado to develop. There may be one that could form at any moment. This storm is moving in an east-southeasterly direction. We'll put it into motion here for you. There you see, kind of moving in a direction towards I-45. Heads up anywhere from Chatfield and Rice, and a little farther to the south as well. As you said, Ron, it'll probably go just on the north side of Corsicana, but you are too close to make a call there. So if you're in Corsicana, you need to hunker down. You need to take shelter immediately away from exterior walls or windows, and in a closet or a bathroom in the middle part of your home. This potentially tornadic supercell continues to move off to the southeast, and that tornado warning in effect now for Navarro County, as we just said.
Yeah, until 6:15, Dan. The latest information that we have is that this storm is moving east or southeast, maybe east-southeasterly at about 50 miles per hour. So it is definitely moving at a good clip.
Not going to have much time to react at all.
Let's go to Steve Eager, I guess, Dan, in the studio, and see what else you have for us.
Yeah,
Steve?
we're going to actually talk about the drive home. I know a lot of people do commute home down to Ennis on I-45. That's where some big trouble is probably brewing. I don't know if, Chip, you can monitor that area, but I know there's been a lot of wet and slushy roads in general on the commute.
There certainly have been, and we've had over a dozen wrecks in the areas where we've had all the big storms, and we're going to look at everything going basically from the south to north and take a look at some of the arrows that we have pointed out to you. The far southern part of the viewing area around the Cedar Hill area, just north of there, along I-20 in Wheatland. There's a bad injury collision there. Highway's down to just one lane getting through in the westbound direction. It is causing an eastbound onlooker slowdown, so watch for delays there. Also on Highway 175 heading out of downtown Dallas towards Ball Springs, there's a wreck with only one lane getting through. Believe it or not, no wrecks or stalls anywhere along I-45 so far in that area where we've seen the heaviest storms, which is a bit of a surprise, though we will be getting more information as it becomes available. On northbound the tollway, there's a problem in the right lane at Beltline Road, definitely not worth your money. And on eastbound 635 LBJ, there is a problem. That is at Marsh Lane. Over in Tarrant County, a number of problems to deal with along I-20 in both the east and westbound directions of I-20 at Matlock. Also, you have a problem on southbound 360 at Arkansas that has 2 lanes of traffic blocked. The backup there is over 4 miles as a result. Northbound on East Loop 820 at Sun Valley, trying to clean up a wreck out of the right lane there. Big trouble at the north end of the DFW airport. At the intersection of northbound 121 and 635 LBJ, the 2 right lanes are blocked. So traffic trying to continue up toward the Grapevine Mills Mall and on towards Louisville are experiencing some significant delays. Also, another problem on eastbound 114. That's right at the Main Street interchange, and the backup there is right to the South Lake border. Again, very hazardous road conditions out there. Please stay at home if you possibly can, or advise your loved ones to just stay at work and get a little overtime because it's just simply not safe on the roadways right now. I'm Chip Wagner, Fox 4 News.
One of the most eerie sights we've seen is taking a look at the amount of hail that has fallen in such a short period of time in Johnson and Ellis counties. And Steve, this is what one person is looking at. It looks like a winter wonderland. It's April, and that's just a small view of the hail that's fallen in our area.
Heavy, heavy hail, and that was a unique picture with the fog it created. Very strange. Severe weather in North Texas, a couple of tornado warnings in effect, Ellis and Navarro counties. The meteorologists will be back, Ron and Dan, right after the break.
And there's an example of that fog that we've been talking about, because the hail is cold, the ground is warm. When it melts, it results in that fog. Stay with Fox 4. We've got more information to give you on the weather.
Right now.
Cappy, Navarro County is under a tornado warning until 6:15 tonight. Ellis County under a tornado warning until about 5:45. That might be extended for just a bit of time. And our area, our viewing area, is under a tornado watch until 9 o'clock tonight. For a look at the storms as they were coming through, right now we're going to turn to Fox 4's Brandon Todd in South Fort Worth. Brandon.
Well, Clarice, as you can see, the weather here in South Fort Worth at Campus Drive and I-20 is about as beautiful as you can get. Now, of course, this is the calm after the storm. A couple hours ago, it was much worse than this as those storms blew through Tarrant County. I want to show you some videos. Start with South Fort Worth, McCart and I-20. A Fox 4 photojournalist captured this pea-sized hail falling there. Several folks immediately began taking cover, and Of course, several motorists wishing no doubt that they were under some sort of cover as well as that hail bounced off of their vehicles. We were over in Aledo. We talked with one man who says he took cover as the rain came through, but the downpour was a welcome sight.
It's been dry, I heard, and then all this weather turns around being like it is. From what I understand, we needed it all. I'm grateful. I'm just glad I wasn't in it.
You can see there around downtown Fort Worth, storm sirens were blaring. Sirens also went off in Arlington, Cedar Hill, and Mansfield. Also want to show you some video at I-35 in South Fort Worth around the Miller Brewing plant. You can see plenty of rotation in the clouds. No actual funnel clouds reported there, but rotation nonetheless. Fox 4 has also received reports as that storm moved through Arlington and the Cedar Hill area that there were even some schools and some daycare facilities that told their staff there to take cover and brace themselves as that storm passed through, not letting anyone leave, not wanting to let them get out on the roads. As we were in downtown Fort Worth, we saw several accidents along I-30 there and several people stopping their cars under the overpasses to protect themselves from what they say was a bout with hail, simply not wanting to take any chances there. That's the latest in Fort Worth. Brandon Todd, Fox 4 News.
More live pictures from Sky 4 flying above Waxahachie right now, live. We heard just a few minutes ago from meteorologist Ron Jackson. He believes Waxahachie is in the clear. Again, the tornado warning for Ellis County should be just now expiring. Same storm now moving through Navarro County, which has a tornado warning in place until 6:15. That's Waxahachie. Appears to have missed this storm, or the storm went around it. We're going to keep an eye on this thing. We're taking a break, and we'll be right back.
Tornado watch continues for North Texas until 9 o'clock tonight. We're going to go ahead and show you TrueView Interactive here. And as you take a look at this, Ron, why don't you run down the warnings that are presently in effect?
Okay, Dan, we'll start from the northern part of the area first of all. You folks in southern Fannin under a severe thunderstorm warning. Now, these warnings have just come across just within a very short period of time. So southern Fannin under a severe thunderstorm warning, Dan, until 6:45. And the other one to our north, Grayson County, you're presently under a severe thunderstorm warning for about another 11 minutes until 6 p.m. this evening. All right, let's travel a little bit farther to the south, Dan. Let's go to Ellis County. Ellis County, you were under a tornado warning that expired at 5:45. However, you are now under a severe thunderstorm warning, at least the southeastern portions of Ellis County under a severe thunderstorm warning until 6 p.m. Southern Kaufman County, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning until 6:30. Hill County, Dan, still under a severe thunderstorm warning until 6 o'clock. And, of course, we don't want to forget, Dan, the tornado warning, which is probably the most important one right now. Tornado warning still in effect for Navarro County until 6:15 this evening.
Let's go ahead and zoom into this most intense area of thunderstorms. Right now, they continue to move to the southeast or east-southeast at around 20 to 25 miles per hour. And the most intense part of this storm, again, continues to be concentrated just southeast of Ennis towards Rice. You're seeing some large hail here, perhaps up to golf ball size in diameter. This storm is moving, or will be moving, over I-45 here in the next few minutes. Heads up here in the northern part of Navarro County for the potential of a tornado. In fact, we'll go ahead and show Corsicana. You're going to be just to the south side of that storm, it looks like, as it continues to move off to the east-southeast.
Corsicana, I think, going to get lucky here, Dan, at least for severe weather is concerned. But let's take a look at Sky 4 over Dallas County. Now, Dan, once these storms move through, we want to remind everybody that I think it's over for the evening, because this, I believe, is associated with the dry line. So generally, if you live west of Fort Worth, western Ellis, western Hill County, and points to the west, I think you're generally in the clear. It could be some scattered light rain, but nothing severe.
Now let's go back to Fox 4 and Doppler radar, and you're exactly right, Ron. In fact, that dry line, by last account, is probably just west of I-35 right now. Dew points back in the Bowie and Jacksboro and Mineral Wells, Stephenville area have all dropped into the 30s, so it looks like the severe weather threat over back that way. Still watching these intense thunderstorms, one up here to the north that's prompted the severe thunderstorm warning warning from Grayson County, now moving into southern Fannin County. Large hail and perhaps some damaging winds with that. And of course, this cluster of severe thunderstorms from Kaufman through Rosser down just to the south side of Ennis, heads up especially on the south side of this cell for the potential of a tornado. Tornado warning continuing for Navarro County.
South Fort Worth also saw some hail. Nickel-sized hail just about an hour ago reported in Waxahachie to the south of Dallas.
And ominous clouds rotating over South Dallas. That captures a very dark afternoon.
In fact, so much hail fell near Waxahachie in Ellis County, it looked like a light dusting of snow covering the ground. And then once the storm blew through the area, a very low fog lingered.
Good evening. For Fox 4 News at 6, some fast-moving storms are bringing severe weather to our area tonight.
Yeah, we've been covering the watches and the warnings all day, and we have weather team coverage for you right now. We want to join Dan Henry and Ron Jackson first tonight on Fox, guys.
Thank you, Heather. In fact, Tornado Watch continues for a good part of North Texas until 9 o'clock. Let's get right to it and show you that the Tornado Watch is going to be outlined there in red. Essentially, it goes from Denton down through Tarrant County and into the Cleburne area. West of there, Bowie, Jacksboro, Weatherford, Granbury, Stephenville, you are now out of the Tornado Watch. Several warnings in effect, including a tornado warning. Here's a look at Fox 4 and Doppler radar. I'm going to zoom in to that cell that we left you with shortly about 3-4 minutes ago. Here's M House, and the National Weather Service officials out there watching this storm very closely. Apparently could be a developing tornado right around M House. Here's FM 3383. Here's I-45. This cell is moving in an east-southeasterly direction just north of Corsicana, it looks like, but really anywhere from Corsicana on up towards M House and south of Chatfield, you want to take cover immediately. Get away from exterior walls or windows, certainly in a closet or a bathroom in the inside portion of your home. Another severe thunderstorm to the north around Bonham. This continues to move in an east-southeasterly direction, damaging winds and also some large hail with it. We're keeping a close eye here on Fox 4 and Doppler radar. Ron Jackson and myself, and we'll keep you up to date right through the evening hours.
All right, Jim, right now with more. Phil.
Hi, Steve. Well, you know, we are in Cedar Hill, and we're getting a little bit of clearing, even some bursts of sunshine. But behind us, you see that those storms are still in the area with the potential for severe weather that we've been talking about. Well, we're going to show you some of that weather that these storms have been producing, especially here in southern Dallas County. Now, this is some of that very heavy marble to quarter-sized hail that fell in Cedar Hill at Highway 67 in Pleasant Run. It's what has sent many people going for shelter all afternoon. It made a nightmare out of rush hour. Police have stayed busy with one accident call after another. Now, the hail has been mixed with heavy rain and tornadic activity. This is some of the cloud rotation in the same area of Pleasant Run and 67 that these storms have been producing. Tornado sirens have been going off all over North Texas from South Dallas County, where we are now, all the way to northeast Tarrant County, and that's where we got some reports that some businesses even sent their employees to get cover on lower floors and even in the basement during the brunt of some of these storms. So again, people taking these storms very seriously, and rightfully so. Reporting live, Phil Alvarado, Fox 4 News.
All right, Phil, and Tarrant County was one of the first counties to pop up on the radar with severe weather. Fox 4's Brandon Todd joins us live from there with the aftermath. And Brandon, as we've been watching you all afternoon, it's certainly gone from bad weather to actually relatively clear behind you now.
Well, this is beautiful out here. It's bright and sunny. This is exactly the opposite of what we saw just a couple of hours ago as the storm skies opened up over South Fort Worth. This was the scene around McCart and I-20. Plenty of hail pounded vehicles there and forced others to take cover. Now, that same system with that hail made its way through the area of around downtown Fort Worth as well, forcing several vehicles off the road there. In Aledo, Pete Peterman tells us he took cover as the rain pounded that area, but the rain, he says, was a welcome sight.
It's been dry, I heard, and then all this weather turns around being like it is. From what I understand, we needed it all. I'm grateful. I'm just glad I wasn't in it.
Those were storm sirens that blared shortly after 4 o'clock this afternoon around downtown Fort Worth. Storm sirens were also heard in Arlington, Cedar Hill, and Mansfield. This video then in South Fort Worth along I-35 near the Miller Brewing Plant. We spotted plenty of rotation in the clouds there. Now, no funnel clouds that we spotted, but lots of rotation nonetheless. And as that hail made its way through downtown Fort Worth, when I say that forced several vehicles off the road, they pulled under the overpasses. Several of them along each exit were piled up under the overpasses, one after the other, taking cover under there, not wanting to take any chances on those roads. That's the latest in Fort Worth. Brandon Todd, Fox 4 News.
Thank you, Brandon. Now let's show you a live picture from Sky 4. These are some of the most interesting pictures we've seen all day, and I guess it's nice, Scott Wallace, that it's unique because you haven't been showing us damage. You've just been showing us fields of white hail, which has been, it's strange.
That's right, Steve. We were looking for damage. The only thing that we could find was this hail. There's very intense hail. Take a look. It's on the roof of the house. It's along the patio. It covers the field. It looks like a snowstorm hit here or something. No reports of any crop damage. No reports of any livestock killed or anything like that. No doubt there's some dents to some cars in the area. But again, very, very heavy hail, very large hail in this part. We're about 4 miles west of Waxahachie along County Road 1446. This is Scott Wallace reporting live from Sky 4.